Okay, so in our previous video, we discussed how we have a pattern, and the one thing we didn't talk about is tangent, which is the very last thing. But we have sine is equal to the y-coordinate and cosine is equal to the x-coordinate. And then tangent is opposite over hypotenuse, right? And our opposite side is always equal to y, and let me erase this. Tangent is equal to opposite over adjacent, and our opposite side is always y, and our adjacent side is always x. And if y is sine and x is cosine, then tangent is equal to sine over cosine. And let's talk about how the unit circle gives us these coordinates more specifically. And I'm going to draw a coordinate grid here. And I'm just going to draw a triangle here. I am going to draw a better triangle so the altitude is not on the edge of the presentation. And let's say this is 30 degrees. Okay? And what we're going to do here is we're going to say, okay, well, let's say the hypotenuse is 1. Okay? So if the hypotenuse is 1, we're looking at a 30, 60, 90. And so this guy is generally 2x, right? So that means x is going to equal 1/2. The side across from the 30 is x, and the side across from the 60 is x root 3. So then that means the side across from 30 is 1/2, and the side that is adjacent to the 30, which is right here, is going to be 1/2 root 3, which is the same as root 3 over 2. So we have all of our trig values. We have the radius of the hypotenuse is 1. We have our y value, because this is the up and down direction, which is 1/2. And we have our left and right direction, which is x. And this is our y, and this is our radius. So if I wanted to find a missing side, so for example, if I knew that this was root 3 over 2, what I would do is I would take, okay, just using a trig function and solving for any value, I would take sine of 30 degrees is equal to my y over my hypotenuse. And then I would cross multiply, and I'd get sine of 30 degrees is equal to y. And so notice here, without solving, because this is 1, whatever the sine value is, that's what y is equal to. And so because the radius of the unit circle is 1, whatever we have our sine value is, that's what y is equal to. And so we're not going to go through and solve this 100%, but I just wanted to show that because the radius is 1, all we have is the sine value, and so that's what y is. So sine of an angle is our y value. Cosine of an angle is our x value. Sine over cosine is our tangent value. Okay, so we're going to do a couple problems, no calculator, and we'll do one to finish this video. We want to find the sine value of -90. Okay, so I'm going to plot, we have 0 degrees, 90 degrees, 180 degrees, and 270 degrees. So because it's negative, that means I'm rotating clockwise, which means that this is the same as -90 degrees. So that means I'm a point on the unit circle right here. And so that means, well, we know the radius of the unit circle is 1. I didn't move in an x direction, and I moved down 1 unit. So whatever our y value is, because it's sine of any angle in the unit circle is equal to y. So we're just going to say that, well, okay, sine of -90 degrees, well, what's our y value? That's going to equal -1. And we have to do this without a calculator, but use your calculator to just confirm that, hey, that's exactly what I'm getting. And so that's how we would use, this is how we would solve problems without using our calculator. And we'll do a bunch of different ones of these. Next video I'll have a couple in them, and we'll go through them. And the idea here is we can plot all these points around the 0, the 90, the 180, and the 270 And we just look, if it's cosine, we look at x, if it's sine, we look at y, and if it's tangent, we look at y over x. And that's how we can put all these values together.